Yo, people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Eli Talks Football, and welcome to your match reaction for Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 3. After 3 draws in a row against Crystal Palace, it has now become a win. So, our unbeaten record against Crystal Palace continues. It has now been it's going to be 9 years now because we're in 2017. So, it's going to be 9 years since we last lost to Crystal Palace. 9 years, and it's close to a decade. Boy, oh boy. But listen, man, we had to win this game. Chelsea simply have to win this game because Liverpool lost, Brentford lost, Newcastle lost. Like basically all the teams around us have lost. Of course, Fulham won, but they're behind, but they're 3 points behind us. And also Arsenal and Man United have a game later today. So it depends on the result. Chelsea could either stay in fourth place or in fifth place, depending on the Man United result at the Emirates Stadium later today. So Chelsea had to win this game, and we did. And Linwood Senior has beaten Crystal Palace yet again. Cause not too long ago for Strasbourg in the Conference League, it was 2-1, and then today 3-1 Chelsea. So listen, man, happy days. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the game of two halves because it was basically game of two halves. The lineup, who was my man of the match, who did well and who did not well. So make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. And let's get straight into it. So, the lineup we went for today is Robert Sanchez in goal, Reece James as right back, Cookway left back, Badiashile and Chalobah to two centre backs, the midfield of Caicedo and Andre Santos, and then the attacking midfielders, Neto on the left wing, Enzo in the 10, Estevao on the right wing, and João Pedro up top. So that's the lineup we went for. Now in the first half, it wasn't that great. It was good, but not that great because in the first half we made sloppy mistakes at the back. Our passing in that first half was particularly poor, and for me, the only players that did well in the first half is Sanchez, um, you know, Andre Santos and Estevao, and maybe Chalobah as well, because most of the first half we didn't feed the ball to Estevao that much. You know what I mean? Because our right hand side today was way better than on the left. Because both Kukwe and Neto was I think Kukwe was okay, not that great, but Neto's worse. Like at this moment in time, yeah, the game against Napoli, if you have to start Jamie Gittins, then that's fine. Because I do not trust Garnacho. I don't want to see Garnacho and Neto starting as left wingers again. I really don't. For me, yeah, let's like if I see SFR on the left and Jamie Gittins on the right, that I wouldn't mind because for me, yeah, SFR has proven why he's our best winger. Because if you look at the goal, yeah, it came from Crystal Palace's mistake. 1v1, he makes a great one. I said to Estevao, I said during the watch long, come on Estevao, I believe in you, you can do this. And then he still makes a one, and then he posted past the goal past Dean Henderson, 1-0 Chelsea. If that was Neto, he would have missed that. If that was Garnacho, he would have definitely not scored that. You know what I mean? So for me, Estevao for me was my man of the match because in the first half I didn't see much of him, but every time he's on the ball, he's on it. He's on it. And then a few minutes later, he could have scored another goal because once again, I believe Enzo made a pass into Estevao again 1v1 from a tight angle, and he just was so close. It was so close. But listen, that difference between Estevao and Neto, because when Neto's on the ball, yeah, he just really frustrates me. Every time he's on the ball, his decision making is poor. Every time he makes a one, he just takes a heavy touch and he either puts it out of play or allows the Crystal Palace defender to try and get the ball off him. And that's the one thing I'm really frustrated about Neto is that he started off season off really well, but then 2 months, 2 months later, he just looks the Neto, at the beginning of the season, just poor passing, just heavy touch was just poor. Like Neto Day was really shocking. Like for me against Napoli, I want to see Estevao playing on the left because when I saw that against Bournemouth, he was still cooked. for me, this is why Estevao is our best winger. So for me, yeah, if I see less for me, yeah, the game against Napoli, Estevao on the left and Jamie Gittens on the right. Because Jamie Gittens, when he played that position against Charlton Athletic, he was really good in that game. Yes, he may not score again assist, but he was really good. So for me, I want to see both Neto and Garnacho on the bench. Then the game against Napoli and the game against West Ham, Estevao on the left, Net and Jamie Gibbs on the right. Simple as that. Because Estevao was the only attacker in this game that did well. He was the only attacker because Neto was shocking and João Pedro in the first half did absolutely nothing and we didn't give him enough service in that game. And that for me was really frustrating. So, and in the first half, we could have been 3-0 up because we scored the goal. Estevao could have had the chance to score another goal. But before that, yeah, you know, Reece James makes a really good cross, and then Enzo just decides to guide it high rather than the back of the net. We could have been 3-0 up at half time. But like I said, the performance in the first half was alright, but it wasn't that great. And then I said during the watch along, I need to see changes at half time. I need to see Garnacho on for Neto and then just make other substitutes because the second half, we need to really kill off this game because 1-0 ain't enough for me. It really wasn't. So yeah, we didn't see enough changes. But the one thing I'll give Liam Senior is that what he said at halftime clearly worked because in the second half, it was way better. It was clearly transition. We decided to feed the ball to SFL more times in the second half than we did in the first and we scored 2 goals. 4 minutes into the second half, it was 2-0, and it's both the Brazilians that made that got the goal. João Pedro was in that space on the right hand side. He passes Estevao, and then Estevao makes a lovely chip over to feed to João Pedro, and then João Pedro was in the penalty box. I was thinking, make a pass, but he decided to cut back in his left takes a shot past Dean Edison, which, tried to save it, but he couldn't, into the back of the net 2-0. Like both Brazilians, done well. And like I said, João Pedro did nothing in the first half, but then we gave him enough service and he looked so much better in the second half. So much better. So the relationship between him and Estevao was really good in that second half. And both of them are Brazilians, by the way. Both of them. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that was in the 49th minute, and then 10 minutes later, we won ourselves a penalty. Now I'm gonna ask you guys in the comments down below. Do you honestly think that's a penalty? Because I'm 50-50. Because when I saw it on a replay, from one angle, it looks like it hit him on the chest. But then when I saw like 2 or 3 different angles, it looks like it hit him like somewhere there, the number 23. So for me, I was 50-50. But the referee went to the monitor. He changed the decision. We got ourselves a penalty. And of course, then there's no Cole Palmer because he got injured yet again. And they said he's hopefully gonna be available for the Napoli game. Enzo Fernandez is our second penalty taker. I trust him. He takes a penalty, bottom right hand corner. Dean Henderson just stood there. And yeah, listen, 3-0 Chelsea, and it was game over. It was game over. Then we made a few changes as well. Let me just tell you what the changes were, if I can get it up. 1 second. So yeah, let me just see the changes. So yeah, our first change was we made 3 changes. So we saw Malo Gusto on for Neto, Jamie Gittens on for Estevao, and Ray Sofana on for Moise Caicedo. And in that time we played the back 5. So Ray Sofana was playing as a right centre back, Jamie Gittens was playing on the right wing, and Malo Gusto was playing in the midfield alongside Andre Santos. And then the 81st minute, we saw Reece James coming off for João Hato, and that means that João Hato was playing as a left centre back as usual. And then our last substitution was Liam Delap on for João Pedro, and that means that João Pedro, that Liam Delap had to come on as a false 9. And then 3 minutes later, the 88th minute, we conceded the goal, and it came from a corner which by the way, we're not very good. We conceded 3 goals from corners under Liam Senior, one against Charlton, one against Arsenal, and one today. So I think our set piece coach, yeah, has got to fix up. We've really got to fix up because now we look good from corners, but now we concede from corners. So that's something we really need to focus on. We need to focus on trying and doing well from corners, because that's the third goal we did it under Lima Senior. We really got to fix that one. But so yeah, they scored the goal, but I knew the game was over. The referee blew the whistle, and yeah, 3-1. And by the way, I'd like to say, Adam Walton, goodbye. Yeah, because that's definitely yellow. That's definitely deserved the red card, because Caicedo knew that he knew that he cannot get himself another red card. So Caicedo, I want to big up to him, because instead of him gets a yellow card, it's the opposition that gets yellow card. Adam Walton fouled Caicedo not once but twice, and definitely yellow card. I like to say this as well. The VAR, I'm sorry, not the VAR. The referee down in England is an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace, because he decided to give Lamar, the number 20, a yellow card when both him and Santos were fighting. So how comes he didn't give a yellow card after he fouled Sanchez when he was claiming off the ball? For me, Crystal Palace should have been down to 9 men, because not only Adam Waters should be off, so did Lamar. He should have been off as well. Like, it makes no sense to me. So it probably should have been down to 9 men. So the referee was an absolute disgrace. But listen, I'm not gonna complain too much, because he won 3-1 and now in fourth place. So yeah, Estevao for me, man of the match. Man of the match. João Pedro, first off, did absolutely nothing, but second off, way better. Um, Caicedo first half was poor, but in the second half, way better. Reece James in the first half was a bit shaky, but in the second half, way better. I thought Robert Sanchez for me did concede, but he made some really big saves. Really big saves. I remember Badishil just gave the ball away, and it allowed, I think it may be Saar or someone was in on goal. But yeah, Sanchez made the brilliant save. So Robert Sanchez, he may be frustrated that he conceded, but for me, he done really well in this game. He done really well. I thought Badishil was average, because in the second half he looked a bit better, just a tiny bit better. But the first half he was all over the place. I thought Kukueya was all right, but not great. But like I said, the left hand side, it cannot be Kukueya, because the left hand side for me was so weak. So weak, and this is why we need to bring in a left winger. Is either we put Estevao as a left winger, or we sign a proper left winger, because that left hand side just absolutely stinks. It stinks, and you can see that today. It absolutely stinks. You know what I mean? So listen, we need a proper left winger, and we still need a striker, because even though João Pedro scored 8 goals in the Premier League, I don't think he's a striker. Still a number 10. But listen, João Pedro back to back goals in the Premier League, scored against Brentford and scored today. So I just hope it gave him more confidence. I really hope so. So there we go. But yeah, man, 3-1 Chelsea away to Selhurst Park. Our next Premier League game is another London derby, but it's at Stamford Bridge against West Ham United. So hopefully we can win that game. But before that, we've got an away trip to Napoli in Naples, to face Napoli in Naples in Italy. And by the way, today was our last game of staying in London. You know what I mean? So there we go. But Liam Senior is doing a good job so far. 5 games, 4 wins, and a loss in all competitions. So yeah, man, back-to-back Premier League wins for the first time since the first week of November. Happy days, man. So let's hope that we can continue, because I did say to you lot that the top 4 is not going to happen. But if Liam Senior can make Chelsea go on a winning form, then I can definitely see Chelsea making it to the Champions League next season. So there we go. But anyway, people, that is it for our match reaction. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Who do you think was your man of the match? How impressed you are from Liam Senior? And by the way, before I end this video, the fact that we brought on so many defenders, though we had 6 defenders on the pitch, I was a bit concerned about that. I understand that he's trying to defend the lead, but I think for me that one, I think I don't want to see that next time. especially six defenders. But listen, we won. I'm not going to complain. Liam Moutinho's tactics work, especially in the second half. He played some really good football. We were way better. And up until the 75th minute, Palace had no shots in this game. Absolutely no shots. So there we go. But yeah, people, that's my thoughts and reactions to it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'm on the road to 1K subscribers. So if you guys can do that for me, then that would be great. And yeah, next up for Chelsea in the Champions League, our final game away to Napoli. And if we can win that game, then that would be massive because that'll make Chelsea get automatic plays for the round of 16. So there we go. So let's hope we can win that game this Wednesday. But yeah, people, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, up the Chelsea.